of Adoptions podcast. I am your host, Jessica Griffith, and this is my lovely co host, Heidi.
Hello.
And we are here today with Jacob, my birth son, which I'm super excited about this. So, okay. Hi.
Hello?
It's really funny to me because, and I know I've told you this like 1,000 times before, you have a lot of mannerisms of my brother. So it's like,
For real? I don't
I
remember
like
you
low.
saying that.
Okay, so you have a lot of mannerisms of my
Okay.
brother. And so sometimes it's a little bit weird because like I feel like I'm talking to him, obviously, but I'm not. So
I didn't know that. That's cool.
yeah, you
That's a
guys have
good
it.
thing, right?
Yeah. Well, you know
Okay.
Heather, obviously. Heather, my cousin, Heather, Millie's mom.
Yes.
You know Millie.
Yeah, yes, I know
Come on,
Millie
her
and her
mom.
mom. Yeah,
She calls you Dawn too, because my brother's name is Don. So she calls you that because you
right.
remind her of my brother too.
Really. I'll just remind
Anyways,
everyone of your brother, huh?
well, yeah, you do. You do. Okay, so I want you to just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you were raised, and just kind of give us a little background about you.
Love that question. Um, okay. So I was raised in Fayetteville, Georgia for most of my life. Yeah. I love it down there. I've played basketball since I was like maybe 6 or 7 years old. I love it. I'm playing basketball at Southern Virginia University right now, which is pretty amazing. Um, yeah, I love food. Like I'll eat a lot. Like I'm not really picky.
Okay, what's your favorite food?
What's my favorite food? Usually for my birthday, I'll just tell my mom to make like some pasta, like chicken Alfredo pasta, or with some
Okay.
shrimp in there. Yeah, that's my
So
go-to.
none of the Nigerian foods make it on that list of foods that you like to eat?
Okay, well, I do like to eat those,
I know
but I
your
wouldn't
dad is a
like.
good cook.
Yeah, they're really good. I just wouldn't like go out my way on my birthday to be like, can you make this for me? You know what I'm saying?
True. True. I get
Maybe
that.
sometimes.
And then you have two sisters.
But yeah, I have two sisters. One is
Where are they?
never mind. One's in Alabama playing basketball, D2 level, and
Okay.
the other is here with me at SVU playing for the women's team.
Oh,
Oh,
she
wow.
is?
Yeah,
Why did I not? Why I don't know why I thought she was at a different school.
no, I came here with
Okay.
her.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
okay.
playing for
Is
the
this
women's team.
okay? Well, how's she doing? Good.
She's doing great, I think. They
Okay.
need to like I asked her teammates, and they say she's looking better than most of them right now. She's
Oh, so you're
good.
checking up on her?
Yeah, of course.
Do you do? Because didn't you say you were gonna try to do like something with the women's basketball team too?
Uh, no.
Like eventually.
What What do you
Like
mean? Like,
coach?
No, like you said, like before you went down to Southern U, you were thinking of like I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering it incorrectly. Clearly.
oh, I was planning on being like a manager for the men's team here.
Yes. Okay. So I'm not
The
crazy.
manager.
Yeah,
Okay.
not the women's team, no.
Oh, but the men's team?
Yeah.
But then you
That,
decided to play instead?
well, yeah, I was gonna ask the previous coach if I could play, and you know what I'm saying, when I visited, he was like, "Oh, we can probably figure something out for you, maybe manager," because he was a little harder coach, I guess, but he transferred to UVU. So, and we got a
Oh.
new coach, and I asked the new coach, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll give you a chance."
Oh,
So
that's
here I
nice.
am.
So, are you happy that you went back home and decided to go to Southern Virginia U?
Yes,
Like, do you
it
feel
was
like these
pretty.
are more your people?
I wouldn't say more of my people, but like, I love. Okay, hold on. Like, I like the people up here, and I love all my teammates and stuff. But like, Virginia is like not a place I thought I'd be, and I still don't want to be here. Like for the long term, I'll play another year here, maybe, but after that, I won't stay here.
Where do you think you'll go?
No idea.
Wherever the wind takes you?
Yeah, that's how it's been going for me.
That's how you live your life?
Yeah, it's been well, hasn't
Like
been
a
going the
tumbleweed?
greatest, but
Things
it's
aren't going
going.
the greatest?
like, no, I'm saying like where the wind takes me, like it hasn't
Oh,
taken me to
always
great
been good.
places, but
Well,
this is a great place.
maybe some of them were like a light breeze that you're like, yeah, this sounds like a good idea, and then not really.
And then it turned out to be a lesson, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
but that's life.
That is life.
And look
That
at
is
this,
life.
you're on the other side, and it's like so much better.
Exactly. Well, I
Okay.
don't love it here, but all right, continue.
Okay, so tell me tell me kind of about your adoption story, like from your perspective. Obviously, you know from my perspective what it was like for me, but
Hmm.
I've never talked to you about kind of your perspective on, you know, like what age were you when you found, like when your parents told you you were adopted, or was that like never a thing, like you always knew? Like
I
what?
honestly, yeah, I had no idea. I have no idea when they told me, but I always knew.
Okay.
But I don't know when they told me because I don't remember. But yeah,
Like
they
you were
told us
little.
pretty early. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I always knew, but I didn't really think about it, like, cause they're like, they're my mom and dad. They was raising me, so I didn't really think about, oh, I had someone else out there that gave me up, you know, due to a certain situation. I didn't really think about it like that until um when was it? When I was like 16, you were like, or they told me like, yeah, she wants to meet you. Like she's down here in Georgia or whatever. And you're like, yeah, she wants to meet you. So then I was like, whoa. Like it kind of came out of nowhere. I feel like I didn't really have time to think about it enough. But then I was like, you know what? Why not? I'm like I did want to meet you, but I was like, she's here, she's close enough. So it's been 16 years.
Yeah. So, do you feel like, I mean, I was like super nervous about meeting you, obviously. And I know you've said this before where because you had, and obviously you had and you have a great life. So, to me, the fact that you have never been necessarily like seeking me out is not a bad thing. That means that, like, that says to me that you've had like a really good life and a really good upbringing and that you have been happy. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So, were you like nervous when we were first meeting, or did you kind of not really? Because I know you
Yeah.
said before, like, you've never really thought about it, where like your sisters think about it a little bit more or have more questions than you do.
Oh yeah, I was really nervous. I was really not trying to say anything at all. Yeah,
I know you
I
were
told
silent.
yeah, I told my mom, I was like, yeah. I asked her, I was like, I don't really want to say anything. And she was like, yeah, don't worry, she'll do the talking or something like that. Or maybe it was you that said it, I can't remember. But you did do the talking. Like I'm not no, like that's
I
not
was
I'm not trying to
nervous
say yeah, of course. I know you was nervous. I'm not saying that as like a bad thing, but it's a good thing you did it because I wouldn't like we would have sat there saying nothing
in silence.
if it was up to me. Yeah.
Do you are you glad that we were able to meet when you were 16 and that we've been able to kind of like over time just like keep in touch? I mean, I know we don't talk all the
Yeah.
time, obviously, but like um we were able to spend a little bit of time together when you were out here and stuff. Do you feel like that has been good for you, or is that not something that you've really thought about?
I think it was a good thing. Like I feel like if it was any earlier, I would have just kind of brushed it off. I think I was old enough to realize like what was going on at that point. And then like the fact that we got to build our relationship over time was better instead of just rushing it. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any questions? Because I know when you lived out here, you said like you had questions for me, but some of them were too hard. I mean, when you're hanging out with me and my three boys that are like crazy, um, there wasn't a whole lot of like one-on-one time that you and I had to really talk about anything. Like,
Yeah.
is there any questions that you've ever had that you want answered, or have you just it's kind of a moot point because your life has been good and there hasn't been anything you wanted
I
to ask?
I feel like there was some questions that I had, but I feel like they've been answered like as I grow up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like I get older, I start to understand things better, and I kind of answer my own questions. I'm like, oh, like that's why this happened, or this why he said that, or you know what I'm saying? But
Do you have an example?
like, uh,
He's gonna
example,
pin you to the
example,
wall now.
example, 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 example. I don't have an example. No, you're gonna give me a little bit on that.
I gotta let you think about that.
Yeah,
So, did your parents ever tell you about like the birth story of you and how excited they were to have you? And because you were their firstborn kid,
yeah,
so like
yeah. They told me
share
how
that
excited I
experience.
was. Yeah, it was like because they couldn't have no kids, and my dad he didn't want to adopt. Like he really didn't want to adopt at all, and he was praying a lot with my mom. They was doing a lot of like one-on-one stuff with God, and she was trying to convince him, but he didn't really want to do it. And then when they got me, and he told me he was like when I was holding you in my hands, like all those feelings just kind of disappeared all of a sudden. And he was I'll die for this guy right here, me obviously, but yeah, it's like it was just washed away instantly. I thought it was kind of cool.
And did they tell you like any of the like when you were being born, like any of that stuff, like how they could just like feel your presence with them? Like even like before, like as you were being born, your dad said like your presence was so strong in the car that he was in that he like had to turn around and look at the car seat to see if you were there because it was like
No,
so incredibly strong.
I didn't hear about any of that. No, I had a crazy aura though. Sounds like
You had a big aura. Maybe that's more like
yeah,
it. Like you just had
yeah.
a big aura. Has do you feel like being adopted has ever been like an issue in your life? Like have you ever had problems with other people? Have it like
Not at all.
I
No.
mean people don't even do they know that you're adopted? I mean it doesn't matter, but
Okay, well, no, like they don't know immediately. Like I usually have to tell people I'm adopted, and then they're surprised. They're like, "What? Like you're adopted?" Because like
because you look so much like your mom.
I I do. Do
Oh, you do. I'm
do
just
I?
like, well, yeah, because you take on mannerisms of your parents and like your
Oh
dad, like
yeah,
when you guys have been together, it's like you look like it would be very surprising to learn, I think.
yeah, I think so. But yeah, I usually have to tell like people, and then obviously they're surprised because like my dad's white, my mom's white, and usually when that mix, they get someone like me, like light skin, curly hair. So it's kind of normal to see something like that if you have like interracial parents.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, you're adopted? I didn't even know that." So I usually have
Well,
to tell people.
that's exactly why, like, that was part of the reason I picked your parents is because they were like, it was interracial. Because I
Smart.
wanted you to don't finger gun me.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, that was a big draw though, because I wanted you to have the most like normal childhood.
Yeah, it's pretty
So I
normal,
mean,
I think.
obviously it felt normal to you. Is there any like if you could say if there was one thing that you could like let's see. What am I trying to do you have any questions for him? Because I feel like he and I talk a lot.
Well, no. Well, I'm assuming then his sisters are both adopted,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Too. Okay. Well, and if everyone looked the same, because in my circumstance, my kids are black and were white, so
Yeah.
everyone knew they were adopted. Well, some. I still have people come up to me and ask what happened or how it happened.
Hmm.
How it happened. You're like,
When I was by myself, or literally, we were at the store with my husband and I were both there with our girls, and they're like, "So how did this happen?" I'm
people
like,
are
I
is
feel like
that
that's
really your business? Because you're checking me out at the grocery store.
people
I'm
have like
like, yeah,
no who like who says that?
they do.
that's a crazy thing to say in public.
Yeah. And we had people say, "Oh, is this your daughter?" And we're like, "Yeah." No, it isn't. It can't be. I'm like, how? Why wouldn't it be my daughter?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, but it sounds like he didn't even have to worry about any of that stuff.
Nope.
So it just was all good.
No, I mean, people after they found out, they tried to make jokes, but they were pretty funny, I think. So I mean, they respected me as a person, and
Mhm.
I don't really. Everyone makes jokes. It's fine.
You seem like you're pretty laid back. So, as
Yeah,
far as what, because
she
most,
knows.
because you have people say that it affected them greatly, but with you, you don't feel like it didn't, it wasn't bad or,
Honestly, I feel like it was better for me.
yeah,
Like I turned out way
yeah,
better that this happened.
yeah.
Excuse me.
I
So
didn't mean
rude.
anything by that.
I'm totally kidding. You're right. You are 100% right. 150% right. So, yeah, I don't think that.
You made the right decision, is what he's telling you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've never,
Yeah,
like we were talking about this before though, like I've never thought that it was a bad choice. And like I absolutely love your parents to death. And like and your sisters are the cutest. And of course, I mean, obviously I think you're the best one of them, but like that's
I'm
it's
glad
kind
I'm
of
recording
partial.
this.
So you can like what tell me later
Yeah,
when we get in a
Yeah,
fight or something because we fight all the time.
we don't. Yeah, we
you
don't.
guys fight all the
I'll
time.
send you the clip and be
No,
like, remember this?
we never fight because he's the most chill person
I
in the
know he
whole
does. He
world.
seems
Like
like
he's
he's just like
super just like
Are
chillax.
you talking about
mellow.
us? Yeah, we never fought before.
I know, because I'm saying
I
like
don't
you're just
think.
I don't think we could though. Like I think because you're so mellow that I don't think you'd be like, yeah, whatever. Like you just need your space.
Yeah.
He seems like he would be that type.
Okay, so what are some of the favorite things that you guys did growing up that you remember that have really become like a core memory for you?
Play basketball.
Did you play with your dad? Like was he out there like teaching you
Oh yeah, he was
basketball?
all the time, every night almost. Like I would take up. I don't know when we started doing it, but like when we got actually, yeah, we got a hoop at our old house. That's when we started like working out outside all the time. The driveway wasn't the best; it was kind of slanted, but like we got a lot of shots up. He'd put us through drills, tire drills. Like he'd make us run. There's like a circle of trees around, like in front. Maybe it was like a quarter mile. What no, that's too long. Like less than like it was less than a quarter mile around, like the whole ring of trees. But he'd make us run around that like 10 times before bed and punishment.
I was gonna say, was that so like he would tire you out, or was that for
It
punishment
was
for not
yeah,
playing well?
it was. I don't think he never punished us for not playing well. He just like he punished us for like like stuff we did in the house, like not doing dishes or like didn't do a drill right. Mostly it was just for stamina. Like you got to run to play basketball. That was honestly horrible. It got me in shape though.
So how much do you run now for basketball though? Like, do you feel like that helped you now?
It did, yeah, but I feel like I ran way more in high school. If that makes sense.
Really?
Like the high school I went to, they were like their motto was
Crazy
we're
with
a
the
track
drills.
team. Yeah, we're a
Oh,
track team. So we ran more than we actually had a ball in our hands.
oh. Well, I mean, I guess basketball is like a running sport, so
That was not fun.
like,
But here, I mean, we don't really run. We just do a lot of like 5-on-5 drills, which it gets tiring, but we don't like run like condition run,
Just
which
repping.
I'm really grateful for actually. Hate those drills.
yeah, that sounds well. That's why I hated basketballs because we always had to do I mean, this is not age level, but the suicide drills, where you had to like
Yeah,
touch
yeah.
the line and run back. Like those are my least favorite drills.
It's
And by the
horrible.
way, you didn't get your basketball skills from me because I could not hit the broadside of the barn.
So you said you were on the basketball team?
I was on a
Lord,
basketball team when I was like, like the junior jazz or something, like when I was
junior
younger,
jazz.
but like
Oh,
I could like block, but that's about it.
hey, not everyone's a scorer. That's fine.
Yeah,
Well, but I don't know if I was a good blocker. That's the thing. It's like I was just taller. I was like 3 feet
But
taller than
that's
all the other kids.
but that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Even if you just stood there like a tree, you're
Yeah.
doing your job.
Well, didn't your dad have a scholarship to BYU for basketball
Yeah,
or
he played at
BYU
BYU
Hawaii?
Hawaii. Yeah,
Yeah. How many years did he play there? Couple.
2 or 3 maybe.
Okay, and then he moved to BYU Provo.
Yeah, I don't know
Because isn't
actually.
that where him and your mom met? Was that in Utah?
No, they met in Hawaii, I think.
Oh, actually, you're right.
Yeah,
I think you are right.
I hope so because I forgot. I'm pretty sure
Otherwise,
they
he's gonna
met
get in
Hawaii.
trouble.
Otherwise, I'm gonna send this to your mom and be like, he doesn't remember, so you need to make sure that you tell him
Hey,
your
listen, we haven't
story.
talked about this in a while, so I'm
We're
gonna
in
just
debt.
ask. I'm gonna just have to ask him again or them.
Okay. Well,
Don't ask me
sounds
how
like
long they've been married for because I don't know either.
well, I mean, we know at least 21 years because
Yes.
obviously they're and I want to say if I remember correctly, they were married like 5 or 8 years before they had you. So at least 26 years. At least.
That's
That's a
a lot
long
of
time.
years. Yeah.
I know. I know. So how
What is your marriage coming up on?
we just celebrated 15.
Maybe 35.
Ooh,
Yours is gonna be 35?
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, 35 in June.
Oh, good heavens. I know. It
Wow.
feels some days it feels long, some days it feels short.
No, it doesn't. It's years. You have good years.
Yeah, good years and
and
bad.
bad
That's true.
years.
That's true. Like COVID didn't exist. Like
No.
COVID didn't we're
Yeah,
just
That
we
wiping that off
skipped
the
that year, kind of.
yeah, exactly. So let me ask you this. Do you so knowing that you have like three half brothers, do you think, and
Hmm.
this might be a question that you either can answer or don't want to answer, do you think that you would ever like to have a relationship with them like as they got older? Do you like the fact knowing that you have half siblings and or just like more family, like just more extended family to your
I mean, I like the fact that I have more family. Like, I like getting to know people. I mean, I don't see them and I like when you ask me they want to FaceTime with you. Like, I was like, nah. It's not because I don't want to have a relationship. I just don't like being on the phone like that like a long time. But as I get older, I would like to because they know who I am, and
yeah.
it's like I don't feel like an obligation to get to know them, but like I don't want them to know that I'm out there, and obviously they like me a lot, and I don't want to make them feel like I don't like them. I do like them.
Well, but it's also hard. I mean, like you're 21 and I
That's
feel
true.
like your priorities are just like you're living your life as a 21-year-old and then they're so much younger. So it's just like you guys just don't really have a lot in common right now either. So,
Yeah, there's that age gap.
but they just think like you're so cool. I think it's like you're just like this cool like kind of mystery person.
Mystery person.
Even though you're not a mystery to them, but it's still like really cool like,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that's
There's
good to
some
hear. I
mystery.
mean, kind of, but I mean,
kind of.
yeah. I would like to get to know them as they get older. I feel like I'm good with kids too.
Yeah.
Like I can talk to anyone pretty
Yeah.
smoothly, maybe.
Pretty smoothly.
Like
How's it going? How's it going with the ladies? Is it going okay? Are you smooth
I
with the
didn't
ladies or
I didn't
just
come
not so
here
much?
for I didn't come here for the girls. I just came here for basketball. I mean, we'll get to that later,
Later
maybe in like a year
Much
or so.
later.
in like a year after after you're the star basketball player.
After that, yeah, there would be plenty. You know what? My type of girl is not really up here, anyways. I don't have to come back down to Georgia.
What? Okay, so what's the difference between Georgia girls and Virginia girls?
No, I mean they're
I,
all
I was
cool
I
up
was gonna say you
here,
have a lot of white girls probably.
but I do like women a lot. They
She
just
just said
like
that. She's like, there's a lot of
yeah.
white people in Virginia.
I didn't want to say it like that.
Oh,
You know
see,
what I'm
I know.
saying?
I'm
But
sorry. I just said it. I'm just like,
Oh, that's
there's a
hilarious.
lot of white
There's a lot
girls.
of
no,
white girls in
you're okay.
Virginia.
Yeah, it's
That's
not really.
okay.
I couldn't find a good way to say it. I
I
mean,
know. I
Well,
just
there's
said
not.
it.
yeah,
I mean, there's not really a different. You couldn't
No,
say it a
it's
different way.
fine.
Honestly,
Yeah, it's
like there's just no other way of saying that.
no.
but
Yeah,
yeah, that's
it's just your
that's me.
preference. Yeah.
Okay, so
They
what's
just don't.
your? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, they just don't seem to like me back right now. It's heartbreaking.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
You got to get your sisters to hook you up with these girls.
I'm trying, but all like they don't want to do that for me. I don't know why.
Because you're their brother, and I don't know, maybe they're like, you need some time. You need some time alone, is maybe what they're thinking.
I do need some time alone, actually. I'm healing.
I do feel like you've gotten more mature over the last like maybe year and a half. Like since you
Yeah,
left Utah and went back home and, you know, have lived a little bit of life. Like I feel like
yeah.
you are in a like you're more mature and you've just kind of you have like a better head on your shoulders. Is that
I
fair
would
to say?
hope so. Yeah, that's very fair to say. I mean, I don't want to go around saying I'm more mature, but I feel like
I
I
didn't
am.
say you are completely mature.
No, no, that's
It's
obviously
a
not.
journey.
I'm
It's a
still
It's a
journey.
learning.
journey. It's a
Yeah.
journey.
We're all still learning. Like I am still
Of
there are
course,
definitely times when I'm not mature like at all. So it's
but
gonna be
more
a
mature, yes.
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 Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that happened since I came back home, which was good for me. It was
Yeah.
horrible, but it was good for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm
So yeah.
glad to hear that though. I'm glad to hear that you feel like it's better.
Oh, it's so much better. I was, yeah, never mind. It was better.
It was a learning experience.
It
We
was.
all have learned. We all
Oh
have
yeah,
learning
we
experience.
totally do.
And you're gonna have more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have a whole lot more.
Yeah, because you're young.
I cannot wait.
You're so excited, you can hardly stand it.
Yeah, I mean, might as well be excited because it's gonna
Yeah,
happen anyways.
That's true.
it's experiences that you'll be able to take with you, good or bad.
Yeah. So if you could if how okay, share your feelings, if any, about adoption. Like coming from your perspective, obviously you have had a great life, you've had a great experience, you've had great parents, great siblings. Like, would you be an advocate for adoption, do you think? Like when you talk about it to people or when you get in
Yeah,
those conversations, is that something that you feel strongly about?
yeah, I think it's a very good thing. Like I know there's a lot of people put kids up for adoption because they can't take care of them or like something like it's like situational, and they're like a lot of parents are forced to do that. And if there wasn't an option to do that, then they'd be in like a very bad place versus if they could just adopt, like, or put them up for adoption. I know it's hard, like I know it's a really hard decision, but I think it's a good thing.
Do you feel like it has affected? I mean, obviously, it doesn't affect you in the same way it affected me. But do you feel like it has affected you ever in a negative way? Like, have you ever felt anger or negative towards, and not and not in a comparison way, but just like feeling? Because I know a lot of people who have been adoptive have really negative feelings and say that they have some like unresolved trauma because of it.
Uh, I, I wouldn't say negative feelings, but like, okay, here's an example. Like when I came to UVU, right? And I haven't been around you since I was like 16. Right? Like,
Yeah.
did we meet after that? Like
No,
before college?
we
No.
had just talked, like texted and stuff like that. We hadn't
Oh yeah.
seen each other.
So yeah, like last time I saw you was 16 years old, and now I'm 18, almost 19, going to school, and you're way closer. Like it's just a train ride away. And the more I was around you, I'm not saying I didn't like being around you. I did like being around you. But the more I was around you and your family, it brought out feelings of like, I don't know how to say it, like uh
You can be honest. Like, don't feel like you're gonna hurt my feelings. I want you to be honest.
I mean, I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to
Trying to figure out how
Trying to
to
mm,
maybe
say it.
figure out how to articulate it.
yeah. But like I started thinking of like, oh, like there's another person out here who's like a motherly figure to me. So and now I started thinking like, oh, like is it possible to like have two well, obviously it's possible. But I was like, is it possible to have two motherly figures in your life without like clashing the two sides? You know what I'm saying?
You
Because
didn't
like
want
when
to
I,
hurt. You didn't want to hurt the mother that raised you. Is that what you're
yeah,
concerned with?
yeah, like when I, like whenever I get into situations, I try to see both sides, and I try to, I don't like to hurt people's feelings. I don't like to make people mad. Obviously, I really stay out of drama. Like I hate drama. I like hearing about it. You can tell me all about it, but I won't
We
be
were
in it.
just we're the same. I was just saying that. I was like, I don't want to be in it, but yeah, I'm gonna get the popcorn and watch it
Yeah,
happen.
Yeah,
yeah, we did. So we talked about
exactly.
that.
But yeah, like
Mhm.
I don't like being in it. Like I'm kind of I wouldn't say I'm really a peacemaker because I'm watching confrontations like that. But like okay, when I'm involved, like I don't want to hurt someone's feelings because of how I feel about the other person, or I don't want to hurt a situation because of how I feel about another situation. You know what I'm saying? Like so it was kind of like conflicting there because like the more I was around you, the more I was like that's a long time that she missed out. That's like there's a long time. Yeah, I want to say this.
Take your time.
So were you concerned that she was going to have bad feelings because she missed out on the time with you? Is
I
that what
wouldn't say bad feelings.
well, I mean, sad.
Well, sad feelings? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Because it would make her think about all the time she missed out in your life. Is that
It
what
made
you're
me it honestly it made me think about it too because I was like the more I was around her, I was like I really like being around her. Like she makes me laugh, I make her laugh. Like we're kind of similar in some ways. But like I feel like we complement each other. And that was like an immediate feeling when I was around you more. It was just weird because I was like I only had that feeling with, you know, my mom. And I was like, there's another person who makes me feel just like that. I was like, whoa. I kind of had like, because sometimes I would like take a step back because I'm like, oh man, I was just there last week. Like I need to chill out. Like, because you know, I would go with y'all with Sundays, like the church and stuff. Is that the only day I saw y'all? Well,
Well, you'd come
there
up
was some
Saturday
days.
after work, and then you'd
Yeah,
spend the night, and then you'd come with us and hang out with us on Sundays, and then we'd usually take you home because the train doesn't run on Sundays.
forgot about that. That was horrible. I mean, okay, no, the car ride there was nice. Like I appreciate y'all doing that for me. But the
He's like, that
train
was the
not
worst
running on
experience of my
Sunday.
life.
Yeah.
Well, but
Wait.
so now that you and I were able to spend more time together, um, have you been able to like realize that me and your mom can both have a space in your life and be completely different, but also the same? Like, do you feel like you have enough? Like, is there enough in you to not because like I will never, ever, 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 ever be your mom, like in that way, like the way that your mom was, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like apples to oranges. Of course, that's not even a like, and I would never take any of that away from her. But do you feel
Oh
like
my gosh. Sorry.
that feeling is maybe been easier for you once we were able to hang out a little bit more? So you were like, oh, this can exist together. Like we can, like I can have these like feelings towards this person without not like what am I trying to say? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Without it like
Yeah.
conflicting.
Yeah, like were you
Yeah,
able to
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
be like, I can still have like I can still want to be with both of these people and not have the other person feel
Threatened by it.
threatened or feel differently or feel like I love them less than.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had to think about it a little while, but I feel like that can happen. I mean, there's certain things that I like refrain myself from doing still, just to avoid something that I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming that something will happen because I do that a lot. I just think about stuff. I'm like, what if this happens? And then I just change my mind. It's not anything serious.
Do you want to provide an example or no?
I
So I can
oh
understand
my
what
god,
you're
I can't like every time you ask that, my mind goes blank.
Well, okay, so when you were around us and you were like, okay, this person, like, it's weird because it felt familiar, right?
Mhm.
Just like when I say to you, like, you remind me of my brother, like, you feel familiar to me, and it is kind of like this weird feeling because we haven't spent 21 years together,
You have a
Yeah.
connection.
but we have this connection. So, and I'd be lying if I ever said like, oh, like, oh, what would our home life be like if he was a part of our lives? And I do the same thing where I'm like, I can't go there because that was never even an option. And if that one decision would have changed, it would have changed the whole rest of our lives. So
Yeah.
it's an unfair question to ask. But I do like having you in my life. And I feel like I think the hardest part of letting you go, and this is me being real vulnerable here, which we both know I don't like to do. Okay.
Okay. Don't worry, I'm
Um,
I'm listening.
but letting you go, the hardest part of letting you go was not knowing what was going to happen to you, but believing that you were in the best place possible, but not knowing if I'd ever see you again.
Yeah.
And not knowing the man you'd become, not knowing who you were as a person. Like, I think that was the hardest thing for me because I just wanted so many amazing things for you. And I was scared that I was never going to know that.
I think that's another thing that I'm grateful for. Like a lot of people don't get this type of relationship with their birth parents like we got, because like my sister, she hasn't like Keiichi, she hasn't seen her birth mother at all. I don't think. No communication. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think she would go out her way to find that out. And her birth mother obviously hasn't. They've never like met up since, you know, like she gave her up for adoption. And I mean, I never asked her like how she felt about that because I didn't think she cared, to be honest. But maybe I will when I see her again. Now that I think about it, that's something I do want to ask her. But yeah, I'm grateful for this connection we got.
Me too. But I also feel like I look at myself more as like your aunt. And I don't know, maybe you like, you know, like a motherly figure, because like aunts can be motherly figures,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's how I kind of feel about that. I mean, do you feel that way, or is that more of like not even close?
No, I don't. I don't feel the same. It's just
Like,
because like it's because I know it's deeper than that. You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
He cares
yeah,
for you more than he
Well-
would care for an aunt.
but also maybe that's my way of protecting myself too. Like,
yeah,
also not wanting to step on anybody's toes and make anybody uncomfortable because
So that you're calling yourself that.
yeah, I think that's more for my own protection because I would never want to do anything that would hurt you or your mom or dad.
Well, so
So-
it's not just for your protection. You're doing it for everyone's protection.
Yeah.
more so their protection because
Yeah.
you know doesn't really matter to
Yes.
me. No offense, but I like
Yeah,
our
you're
connection.
right,
Like,
you're
I,
right.
like you don't have to worry about me being hurt by anything.
Yeah.
I
Never.
don't think.
You're just like an unhurtable
Okay, but
person.
we're not going to take it there. Find out where our breaking point
We'll
is.
just cut that. We'll cut that part out.
Yeah,
We'll
well,
just delete that. That didn't happen. He's like, why are you asking that question? Sorry. It's just like
it's like how not breakable. Let's see. Everyone's breakable at a point.
I know. And
I'm
I
more
think
like
that's
I'm more like
Go ahead.
I'll cross that bridge when I get to it type of guy.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see.
Yeah,
don't
it's
think
like,
it'll ever-
why are you worrying about it right this second when it
Yeah.
might not even ever happen? So
well, and I think that's
I don't-
one of your like superpowers, honestly.
yeah, the good one.
Because
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But
He seems very
good.
laid back.
he's very
mellow.
He is. He is.
And
very
calming
think so?
personality.
Yeah.
That's how you come across. Yeah.
You don't think that you are? I mean, your mom even told me too with your sisters when they would fight, you'd just be like, whatever, and like walk out of the room and do your own thing.
Well, yeah, because they did a lot. So yeah, I didn't really.
He
What was I
doesn't
gonna do?
like
Stop it?
drama.
Like,
He said that he doesn't like to be a part of drama, but he likes to watch it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Also, it was like a learning experience for them, so let them fight it out.
Well, my brother used to do the same thing with my sister. She'd be yelling at him, and he'd be like,
I had
"Are you
two kids
done?"
like that.
And she'd be like, "What? What do you mean, am I done?" He's like, "I mean, I just like don't want to fight about it. So like, are you finished
I
yet?"
don't
Or
really care. Like,
Yeah,
you can have it. Waste of time.
so I guess you got the mellow gene, but your dad's pretty mellow, isn't he? And your mom's pretty mellow. I mean, they're very calming. Like, no, that look says no.
well, I think my mom is kind of chill. My dad, okay, my dad, like, they both mellowed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, as time went on, but I think my dad was like, when he gets mad, then
He
like
used to
you better
make
be
them run
careful.
around to the yard
Yeah,
outside.
I know.
That's called
Well, no, but like,
corporal punishment.
but like conditioning, I feel like is different. Like his dad's an artist, so he's a very like creative. Like he's just a
but
calming
he's
force.
very like
Very
like
strict.
Structure
his opinion is strong on a
uh,
lot of things. I
doesn't
mean,
move
it
on.
wasn't just for conditioning. Like sometimes he'd make us do it for no reason,
Yeah.
just because he was in a bad mood. And I was like,
Well,
okay,
that's what I'm saying. It's called corporal punishment, is what they call it.
Yeah,
yeah,
Honestly,
I know, but
we
like,
had a friend get in trouble for it, and I would think that that would be one of the least things that you could do, exercise. But she got in trouble from the state
oh,
for doing it.
I mean, every parent has a point where you're like, all right, you're going outside, you're running.
Well,
Like we
see,
have
and
to
I
that's
come and
think
fair.
get
it's a
you.
good idea because then they would be tired.
Yeah, exactly,
I
exactly.
mean, he did it at
Yeah,
night. You would be exhausted and just go to sleep.
yeah, we went straight to
There's
sleep.
a lot of worse things that people could do.
I don't even-
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
think it's bad.
Hey, well, I appreciate you coming on because I know that you're
Thank
doing it
you
because
for
it's
having me.
important to me. So I appreciate that.
It's not the only reason. I mean, I kind of wanted to be on a podcast or whatever.
It's the cool thing.
It is cool. I
He's
mean,
on a
it is really
podcast.
cool. Like it is really cool to be on a podcast.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, but I appreciate you doing this. I really do. And I know that it's taking up time away from your friends and stuff. So
They're all gone right now, so he
well,
needs
his
to take
Yeah, I
basketball
his
wasn't.
friends
friend.
are not.
Yeah, I was just
He needs
gonna
to
sit
take him.
here at my desk, eat some Pop-Tarts,
Oh
watch
my
some
gosh.
TV.
I
To be
like
21
Pop-Tarts.
again and you just eat Pop-Tarts while you're hanging out.
Right?
Jeez.
By yourself.
I think I
Yeah, by
exercise enough
yourself.
to have it like,
Just
it won't
wash right
it won't
off
be
you.
bad. Yeah.
He's
Gosh.
skinny though.
I
Yeah, but
have
he has
some good foods here though. See, I got a banana right here.
No, that's good.
a banana
Okay.
and Pop-Tart.
Yeah,
No, don't eat the
that sounds
banana.
pretty good.
Don't eat the banana. Oh my gosh.
No, have you seen what's in bananas?
No.
Okay.
What?
Okay, just go on YouTube what banana looks like underneath a microscope. You won't want
What?
to eat them again.
But you want to eat a
All I
Pop-Tart? I
know
feel
is
wouldn't a Pop-Tart and a banana be like just as bad?
No, I think the banana's worse.
Really?
Well, the banana has like bugs all crawling in the
Did you know
outside and the
this?
inside.
I did, but
You
it helps
you
with
did?
cramps.
Oh, does
I
it?
saw
Yeah,
that.
because of the potassium. It's
But so does pickle
potassium.
juice. Do you
Yeah,
like pickles?
I hate pickles.
What?
They're
Ugh.
disgusting. I'm sorry. I thought you
You
knew
hate-
that. Yes.
Did I? I feel like maybe I didn't
So
know that.
so
Actually.
I have
Horrible.
potassium powder that I put in my drinks.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. There's different ones you can do, but yeah, I love bananas too. It's a hard thing.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's sad. But
Well,
see, he keeps eating it.
he doesn't care. He's like, I'll just eat the bugs. It helps with.
If I get sick, I
You
get
know what
sick.
helps with muscle cramps is mustard.
Oh, do you like
Oh
mustard?
no, I also hate mustard.
Well,
That's why I eat
I was
bananas.
assuming that because he doesn't like pickles.
Is that the same, or is it
It's
just because it's like
a vinegary
oh,
based.
and I
Horrible.
love me some vinegar.
It's a vinegary based.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's okay. You can love it all you want. I will be here, not loving it.
You
Oh,
can have it all. He
I
doesn't
love.
want any.
You know, Landon doesn't like pickles either, and we had gone to like a show at the expo center or something, and they had this like booth that had all these different flavors of pickles,
Oh,
and
yeah,
so they
we
were like
got some
letting
of
us
those
try. And I was like,
pickles.
and I texted Brian. I was like, hey, like they have like spicy pickles. We should get for Landon. He's like, Landon doesn't like pickles. I'm like, oh, yeah, then that would probably not be a good idea or a good present to get.
My
Yeah,
daughter,
no.
I have a daughter that hates them.
Oh,
She can't handle the smell of them in the
They're
house
awful.
or anything. Yeah, that's how she feels.
Do you like Chinese food?
I love Chinese food.
I don't.
That made me so sick when I was pregnant with you. Like
For
I
real?
literally could not even smell it
That
without
must
wanting to throw up.
That's kinda
that
how I
must
feel
be
about
why I
it
like
now.
it.
That makes you want to like it.
That's me. He
Oh,
says
that
maybe
must be
that's
why.
why
Oh,
he
maybe
likes
that's
it.
well, that's true though, because like Landon, I couldn't eat Mexican food with him, and the kid puts Cholula on everything. Like
I
he can
love
drink hot
Mexican
sauce.
food.
So like
I
I don't know
love
what's
Mexican
happening. Bodies are weird. They're so weird. So well, anyways, it was
Spice.
good to see your face. You look good.
Thank you. I think so too.
You've
But
never been
yeah.
short on confidence, which is a good thing.
That was a good thing.
But like
Well,
Oh, I
especially,
have. I
humbly, you're a
have,
humble
but
confident.
but you have to be when you play sports. My youngest son, he was so cocky. He played football.
Yeah,
He's just got a cocky
football,
ass.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Gotta
does.
have it.
Basketball is better though.
Basketball is better because you don't get as many concussions.
Oh, you still could, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, we will sign off. Press this. You can stop screen recording if you're doing that right now.
Okay.
And then we're gonna stop recording.
No, you need to
Oh,
do
I
the
need to do
sign
that.
off.
Okay.
Cool.
I don't know, but I
Are
think
you
my
somebody
phone.
calling you? Or
It's
somebody
my
calling you?
other
Okay.
phone. I have two phones.
All right. Thank you for listening. I hate these. It's so unnatural. Thank you for listening to Active Love Adoptions podcast today. And I don't know what else to say.
Don't
Guys.
either.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us on Active Love Adoptions podcast.
If you're interested in placing or have questions or something, this is your job.
I know. Okay. It's aactiveloveadoptions.com, right?
Yeah, but you can do active love. We've
but
been doing
the-
active love.
Go to the website there. Like,
Yeah,
Active
yeah,
Love.
active love
A Active
adoptions.
Love.
And
Alright.
yeah, you have to put the
I'm
adoptions.
sorry. These are the growing pains. Just ignore us.
It's okay.
Thank you for joining us today on Active Love Podcasts. If you or someone you love is interested in adoptions, please go to our website at aactiveloveadoptions.com for more information.
That's good.